Hello, and thanks for watching another episode of ARFCOM News. Today I want to tell you about how New York is making it easier for police to shoot people, the latest from Rare Breed, and a marginal win in South Carolina. But before we get started, I want to introduce you to the luxurious comfort and style inherent in every TNVC purchase. Discriminating connoisseurs like yourself deserve nothing but the finest in low-light viewing devices. Now you have a friend in the night vision business. So stop by and see what TNVC.com can do for you. If you like seeing stuff more than not seeing stuff, take a look at our sponsor, TNVC.com, your source for quality night vision gear to make you the bump in the night. The New York Daily News breathlessly reported the New York Police Department will be issued new, easier-to-fire guns, as if the only reason police don't shoot every single brown person they see is just because their guns are too hard to shoot. In reality, the NYPD has been issuing Glocks with 12-pound New York triggers ever since they first transitioned from double-action revolvers way back when parachute pants were a thing. Well, to be more precise, they started issuing 9mm back in 1993, but the last officers didn't stop carrying revolvers until 2018. In any case, the reason for the 12-pound Glock triggers was that the revolvers they used had 12-pound triggers, so it was assumed that officers would transition more easily, and it was feared a lighter trigger would lead to more negligent discharges. But while they might sound similar on paper, a 12-pound double-action revolver trigger is quite manageable, while a 12-pound Glock trigger is an affront to basic human decency. Don't get me wrong, I EDC Glock myself, but holy cow, the last thing a Glock needs is an even heavier trigger. Predictably, the OEM trigger results in higher qualification scores for both new police recruits who have never fired a gun in their lives, as well as for veteran officers. So the decision of the NYPD to begin transitioning back to the factory trigger Gaston intended is rational and long overdue. But for now, only new recruits will get the factory triggers. Of course, there are always mouth breathers to criticize even the most benign decisions, so this idiot ambulance chaser says, "It's making the weapon more deadly for more people. Why would you want to make it easier for cops to shoot people?" Of course, it won't make it any easier or harder for cops to shoot people on purpose. It will make it easier for them to get more of their rounds into their target, though, which will make it less likely one of their missed shots harms an uninvolved party. But let's not let reason get in the way of emotional hand-wringing. I also have a quick update on Rare Breed's suit against the AFT. In Rare Breed's 48-page court filing, which we'll link down there in the doobly-doo, they absolutely eviscerate the AFT's position. In part, they take issue with the fact AFT agents zip-tied the trigger in their examination, they relied on patents for a different trigger from another company as part of their reasoning, and they emailed each other about how they planned to declare the FRT-15 to be a machine gun before they ever obtained one test. This court battle will be straight legendary, and I can't wait to watch it all play out. As you know, we will continue to keep you updated as we get new information. And finally, I want to tell you about a bit of good, or at least mediocre news coming out of South Carolina. The ruling class has deigned to allow the plebes to carry arms openly, provided, of course, they first obtain permission from the almighty state, and they only carry their weapons in places the state has approved. They also magnanimously waived the $50 processing fee for obtaining a permit. It is still illegal in the state of South Carolina to carry a firearm, whether openly or concealed, without first obtaining permission from the state. If there is no legal way to exercise a right without a permission slip, then it simply isn't being recognized as a right. You could make the argument the Second Amendment guarantees a right to carry a gun, but not necessarily the right to hide it away, and I think that argument is stupid and unsupported, and more importantly, impractical, since concealed carry is just plain more polite.
Do not test my politeness.
Most places. But it's at least a rational argument. So states which require a permit to conceal but allow open carry without a permit are less than ideal, but are nevertheless more reasonable than states which allow no legal means to carry a firearm without prior permission. Well, friends, that's all I have for you today. But before I go, I just want to take the time to remind you, please keep up the pressure on your Congress critters to oppose anti-gun lobbyist David Chipmunk as director of the AFT. Details, as always, are in the doobly-doo. And if you want to get email alerts for the best deals, projects we're working on, and the hottest stuff you missed on the ARFCOM forums, you'll also find a Linktree link down there in the doobly-doo for our newsletter. And remember, our robot overlords in the tube of yous know what we want better than we do for ourselves, so they helpfully unsubscribe viewers from channels like ARFCOM, which express wrongthink. You folks know that censorship makes puppies cry, and Captain America is very disappointed, so don't forget to check every now and then just to be sure you're still subscribed to us. And while you're at it, ring that notification bell so you never miss a word of our gun rights propaganda. If you want to help us keep bringing you banger content like this, please support the folks who support us. Not only does TNVC.com give you night vision with that cool, refreshing, never bitter taste that goes down smooth, they also have mounts, lights, and all sorts of other gear to make you the bump in the night. I love you.